In the quiet village of Marnbrook, nestled among the hills of West Yorkshire, people knew their neighbors by name. The doors were rarely locked, and life moved at a pace far removed from the chaos of the outside world. But all of that changed on March 12, 2025. That morning, 73-year-old George Marlowe, a retired postmaster and lifelong resident of the village, was found dead in his home. His murder would shake the community to its core. George was a beloved figure. After decades of service at the village post office, he was the kind of man everyone waved to. He tended his garden, made jokes at the bakery, and volunteered for local events. He was, in every sense, the heart of Marnbrook. But at 9:06 a.m., when George failed to collect his newspaper, his neighbor grew concerned. After several unanswered knocks, police were called to conduct a welfare check. Officers arrived to find the front door ajar. Inside, they discovered George's body in the living room. He had been stabbed multiple times. The scene showed signs of a struggle, but there was no sign of forced entry, suggesting one unsettling possibility. George had let his killer in. Word spread quickly. A village that rarely saw crime was now the scene of a full-blown murder investigation. People were scared. Locked doors became the norm overnight. Leading the case was Detective Inspector Claire Hoskins. Her team began by interviewing locals, retracing George's final steps, and checking nearby CCTV footage. A breakthrough came from a neighbor's doorbell camera. At precisely 10:14 p.m. the night before the murder, a hooded figure was seen walking toward George's cottage. The person wasn't immediately recognizable, but enhanced video analysis helped identify the visitor: 27-year-old Daniel Broom. Daniel wasn't a stranger. In fact, he had once worked alongside George at the post office as an apprentice. At first, the village couldn't believe it. Daniel was quiet, respectful, and had moved to a nearby town after leaving his job. But beneath that calm exterior lay a history of resentment. Back in 2022, Daniel had been caught stealing small parcels and cash while working at the post office. George, ever the stickler for integrity, had reported him to management. Daniel was fired and quietly left the village soon after. Some say he never forgave George. When questioned, Daniel denied visiting Marnbrook that night. He claimed he hadn't spoken to George in years, but evidence told a different story. Police searched Daniel's flat and found bloodied clothing tucked behind a washing machine. Forensics matched the blood to George Marlowe. Still, it wasn't enough. Daniel insisted someone else planted the evidence. His alibi was shaky, but he stuck to it. Then, another piece of the puzzle emerged. Daniel's girlfriend came forward. According to her, Daniel had returned home late the night of the murder, visibly shaken and with cuts on his hands. She recalled him saying, "I just wanted to scare him. I didn't mean to do it." This chilling admission, combined with DNA evidence found under George's fingernails, left no room for doubt. Daniel had confronted his old mentor and killed him. During the trial at West Yorkshire Crown Court, Daniel showed little emotion. Prosecutors described a calculated act of revenge fueled by a grudge that had festered for years. The defense argued that Daniel had a mental breakdown, that he didn't intend to kill. But the jury didn't believe it. After just 4 hours of deliberation, they found Daniel Broom guilty of murder. He was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum of 25 years before parole eligibility. For the village of Marnbrook, justice brought little comfort. George Marlowe was gone. His quiet heroism, his loyalty, his stories, lost forever to a senseless act of violence. The post office has since been turned into a memorial, where locals leave flowers and handwritten notes. George's story is a reminder that even in the safest places, darkness can hide behind a familiar smile. A small village trusted one of their own, and that trust was betrayed in the most devastating way.